Is this assassin action-packed? Let's find out. Hello Fanatics, I'm Dylan Phillips, and this is the Film Fanatic Review bringing you American Assassin, starring Dylan O'Brien, Michael Keaton, and Sanaa Lathan. First, we'll tell you what the movie is about, and our initial thoughts. Then we'll move on to our spoiler-free likes and dislikes. We'll finish up with our spoiler-heavy thoughts on this film, and our final word. American Assassin follows the story of a counterterrorism agent who investigates seemingly random attacks in Eurasia. Overall, I enjoyed this film. It does have its obvious flaws, but there are some redeeming qualities as well. For what I liked about this film, let's start off with the cast. Dylan O'Brien does a great job in the lead role, as he's able to both stretch his dramatic chops and his action ones. I wasn't really sold on him throughout the entire movie, and afterwards, when I was thinking about what I was going to say for this review, I was trying to think of other actors to put in his role, but the more I thought about it, the more I was sold on him. But the standout to me is Michael Keaton. In the past few years, he's had a resurgence in his career with some phenomenal performances, and this one definitely is part of that list. He was the best part of the film by far. And I really enjoyed the opening 30 minutes of this film. The backstory that they give to Mitch Rapp is both intense and action-packed, and emotional and very dramatic. However, the first 30 minutes of this film feels like an entirely different film in comparison to the latter half. The story moves away from the great spy elements and training aspects that they could have utilized in this film, and instead rely on tropes and cliches that we've just gotten sick and tired of. It tries to become way too serious for its own good, and in the process ends up having a lot of lackluster action scenes. And it becomes a very generic action film filled with all the tropes you'd expect, underwritten emotional characters, and a dragging narrative. And that's where I'll end our spoiler-free thoughts on this film. If you want to hear our final word or rating of this film, pause now and click the link in the description, because now it's time for spoilers. First off, I hate that the central theme of this film was that spies can't be emotional, and yet every single spy in this film has some emotional vendetta or some gripe with another character that overshadows their training and causes them to do things that affect the lives of not only them, but the other people around them. They were just kind of throwing that theme in our face with some overt exposition all the time, and it was a little too much. As I said, this film does feel like two separate films put into one. You have the first half, which is the backstory of Mitch Rapp and what happened to him, as well as his training in this secret cell. But then at the same time, you have this second story that's going on that becomes this rushed plot that eventually overshadows the good aspects and kind of just becomes the generic action film. I really thought that they could have done something along the lines of Kingsman, Jason Bourne, or even Top Gun with the first half of this movie, but instead reverted to just the typical action movie that is going to be forgotten come next year. This could have easily become the next big franchise, like Mission Impossible, Jack Ryan, or Jason Bourne, but instead they fell into the tropes of the genre. And the best scenes to me were the torture scene, the training montages, and the entire origin story of Mitch Rapp, particularly the attack on the beach. So, with the thoughts heard, here's our final word. American Assassin is a fun spy thriller that unfortunately falls into a bland, cliched, and contrived story. While some performances stand out, the characters are underwritten and the dragging narrative is never saved by a memorable action sequence. This film is as generic an action story as it can be, but it has some entertaining performances, so I'm gonna give American Assassin a 6. Thanks everybody for watching our review. Are you planning on seeing American Assassin? Or if you've already seen it, do you have something to add? What did you think of the story? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Dylan Phillips, and this has been the Film Fanatic Review. If you liked this video and you want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Check out our latest If You Liked video where we recommend movies similar to the film, Stronger. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. And until next time, Fanatics, keep it real.